It does actually, because the murder happened 30 minutes after the chime. 1000 IQ. Okay, so this mod is Ace Attorney Ahead in Time. I haven't ever played Ace Attorney, but it always seemed kind of interesting, and this seemed like a good mod. I'll have to pin this on someone like her. This music from Ace Attorney? If I pin it on her, then nobody will expect me. This was the beginning of a series of cases, most involving birds. On the 15th of February 2018, Headkit stood in the lobby of Dead Bird Court. Headkit's uncle's sister was accused of murdering an express owl on the Owl Express. I know the conductor is most definitely rigging this trial in one way or another. It'll be your job to see through his deception. I know you can do it, darling. Now then, fools! Court is in session 4. Hey kid, what's the defendant's name again? Let's just call him Peter. Court is in session for Peter. Is the defense ready? Always, Your Honor. We're doing just fabulously. That's great. And you, prosecution? The prosecution is ready to win this thing. On the 12th of February at 8:03 p.m., the victim was stabbed to death with a knife. Want to look at the evidence he just added? Yes. Great, take a look. Paper attorney badge. It's a paper attorney badge. DJ Groups made it for you. You're a 100% genuine attorney. Totally. Crime details. The victim was stabbed to death with a knife. According to the autopsy report, the victim was stabbed 3 times, all in this general location. The crime took place on the Owl Express in the boiler room. Oh god, this might actually be some real detective shit. I feel like I should get all these facts right. This is like a total game changer. This has nothing to do with the actual game. Witness testimony. Oh wow. So I was taking a ride on the Owl Express. Then when suddenly I hear the outcry of another one of my fellow express owls. But to my great concern of this event, I followed the noise to the boiler room. I walked into a most chilling sight. One of my dear express owls had been murdered, stabbed with a knife. When I discovered his body, I discovered the culprit too, an old woman. Alrighty, darling, this is the big part, the cross-examination. All you have to do is choose which statements you want more information on. Shout out hey, and I'll take a look at that statement. Cross-examination. Yeah, that makes no sense. Because you say it was at 8. But yeah, look at that. But the murder was at 8:23. Hold it right there. There's something pretty off about what you just said. And what would that be off? You say you caught them in the act when the clock chimed. Yes, darling? Yes, that is indeed what I said. Does that bother you? It does actually, because the murder happened 30 minutes after the chime. 1000 IQ. Yes! Or 30 minutes before, if you consider the next hour. This is fun! Are the Ace Attorney games like this too? This is fun! Allow me to explain. Sweet, sweet, we got him, boys. Witness testimony. Alright, the truth this time. As I said, I was taking a ride on the Owl Express. I'm not gonna treat over my previous testimony, as I only need to correct one statement. I arrived at the moment which I assumed to be the moment of the crime. Obviously, I assumed false. I never clarified what time I saw them at. I saw them at 12 a.m. as the clock chimed for a new day. That clears it up, does it not? Cross-examination. Let's press on this one. Why didn't you clarify the actual time? I didn't think it mattered. It matters 100%, Mr. Emus. It matters immensely. Then prove to me that it matters. Headkit has just the thing. Just gonna go with the train schedule. Might be false. You expect to catch me with that? Easy. I didn't find the body on the 12th. I found it 12 a.m. on the 11th. That opens a second contradiction, however. On the 11th, the victim had not died yet. Oh! If the crime had not been committed yet, how could you have seen it, Mr. Emus? Well, you see, Biknack! What is the meaning of this, Emus? Don't just sit there like a deer in the headlights. Come now, it shouldn't be that hard to fix if your testimony truly didn't have any flaws. The witness should be speaking for themselves. Oh, this is so cool. Your Honor, permission to call the second witness? Permission granted. Alright, here we go, boys. Yeah, I can do that. I saw the killer go into the boiler room. And yeah, I guess I'll testify. Alright, let's hear this witness testimony. Okay, so I was in the dining room, which is 2 rooms away from the boiler room. I saw this big old lady. She grabbed a knife from the kitchen. And I saw her walk towards the boiler room. I wouldn't have followed them, but they were wearing my hat. I really like that hat. So I followed her into the boiling room, and I saw her standing over the body of one of my friends, holding that kitchen knife menacingly. Holding that kitchen knife menacingly. That's not true. She doesn't actually hold the knife. It's stuck in his back. That is untrue, my dude. So you're sure she held the knife when you found her? Yeah, she finished stabbing the victim and was holding the knife. It dripped the blood with the blood of her enemy. Sorry, Mr. Bird. Yeah, thank you for your concern. No, I mean, sorry, I'm gonna expose you. Exposed? You sound pretty dramatic right now. Isn't this a courtroom? No, Mr. Bird, take a look at this picture. Uh-huh, what about it? Where's the knife? It's right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely not where I said it was. So how do you explain this? Pretty easily, actually. Yeah, I guess it was in the victim, but does that really change anything? Yeah, well. Looks like the DJ loser isn't that great at his job. That Lassie over there is better than you. Can I go now? I need to feed my fish at home. Well then, that's a pretty conclusive trial. You proved a lot of inconsistencies, but you never actually proved who the true killer was. What about you, kid? Do you have an idea? I honestly don't know. The victim, Anonymous, the conductor, or Hatkit? Let's just say we did it. Let's just say we did it. Hatkit pushed Date Bird out of the way, replacing his spot with herself. Hatkit reveals that she was the murderer. Why? Are you for real right now, Lassie? Hatkit reveals that she took the knife, slowly walked over to the victim and stabbed him. Then she took the knife and cut up the body into 7 pieces. Then she took each individual part and ate them. And she savored them. Okay, chill out there, little Miss Ripper. First of all, the victim's body is still intact. Second of all, you weren't even at the crime scene. And finally, just look at you. You couldn't murder someone if you wanted to. You underestimate the extent of Hatkit's power. You all know the defense is trying to pin themselves to get a not guilty. Would you try a different ending? Ah, okay, that's cool. That's a thing. Oh, I accidentally picked it already. Okay. The victim never died because the death was faked. This is quite a hoot. Have you lost your mind? The victim is the killer of all the crazy theories. Yeah, you can't prove that. How would you prove such a thing? Well, if you look at the picture, the victim is wearing the same clothes and the same one of a kind hat. So I told you, the hat was given back to me by the conductor. So what if it's in that picture? That doesn't mean it was me. Oh, is that so? That's funny. If you got the hat back when the train finished its ride, then this picture shouldn't be possible. And why is that? Because this picture was taken a day after the murder. Oh, okay. But here's the final evidence. If you're here and you're not the victim, then that means if we go back to check the crime scene, will we find the body? Oh shit. I had insane amounts of taxes I hadn't paid. And I blew all my money on this suit and hat. I couldn't pay back my unpaid taxes. And I would have been sent to Deadbird prison. So I made a deal with a car agent, our Anonymous. Fake my death and pin it on Peter. And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling defense attorneys. What a disappointment. Guess I'm not executing the defendant. The court declares the defendant Peter not guilty. Congrats, darling, we won the case. I can't believe we pulled that one off like a magic trick. And thus Hatkit and DJ Groups won the case. But this would not be Hatkit's last case. In fact, it wasn't even her first. But in the future, Hatkit would go on to take on many cases. Will we see them? Maybe, probably, not right now. Ace Attorney, ahead in crime. Jesus. Act 2, a mafia-style turnabout. That's one hell of a name. Coming eventually. Yeah, that was just Act 1. The creator of this mod actually planned to do 3 more. I don't know how long they're gonna take. Also a very, very good one. Okay, so we did 2 mods in like 1.5 hours, I feel like. That one was really good also. It was like super different from what I'm used to. Like it was like entirely different. And it actually really made me want to look into some of the Ace Attorney games. I've never played them, but I always thought they were kind of interesting. This was really fun. A really fun stream. Mainly because these mods were so good, honestly. So yeah, I can definitely imagine spending a couple dozen more hours into this game. Thanks for joining, and yeah, peace out. You're in the perfect